everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. My name is Ria, and if you are new to my channel, I give you a very warm welcome. So, without further ado, let us begin today's lecture. Today, I would like to talk about the Middle English period. Middle English period, the time span of Middle English period is from the year 1066 to 1558. Now, for our discussion, we can divide the Middle English period into three sections. The first one is the pre-Chaucer time. It is from the year 1066 to 1300. Then we have the age of Chaucer from 1300 to 1450. Then we have the revival period, that is from 1450 to 1550. So let us first discuss the pre-Chaucer period. Middle English period started with the Norman Conquest. Norman Conquest took place in the year 1066. Now, who were the Normans? Normans were the people who lived in a small duchy called Normandy. Under the leadership of William the Conqueror, they sailed across the sea and invaded England. The Normans defeated the King of England, King Harold Godwinson, in the Battle of Hastings. And then William declared himself the new king. And immediately he made French the language of the court. English as a language went to the background and lost its importance. The people who wanted a government job had to study French. But when two languages stay side by side, it is natural that they would influence one another. Being Old English got influenced by the French language, many things got changed and many words came from French into English. And that is called the Middle English. Now, we have to discuss the major events of this time and also the major literary works. The major events of this time were the Crusades. Now, we all know that Crusades were the wars, the religious wars fought between the Muslims and the Christians over the fact that who would have control over Jerusalem. There were 7 crusades, and people from England also went to fight in the crusades. Going to the war was something very glorious. When people went out of England to fight in the crusades, they came across the Greek and the Roman classical texts, and they brought all those texts along with them. Because of this, the cultural development in England was accelerated, and the education system went out of the hands of the clergy and came into the hand of the common people. To spread the classical learning among the common people, universities were established. During the 12th century, the Oxford and Cambridge universities were established. London became the cultural hub of England. The major literary works of this period are Chansons de Geste. Chansons de Geste are the songs of the knights who went to fight in the war. Another important legend was the Arthurian legend, and many romances were written based on the Arthurian legends. Now, King Arthur was the legendary king of Britain. He had 12 knights in his round table. And the deeds of King Arthur and these 12 knights were written in romance form, which were very popular among the people in that time. Let's talk about the age of Chaucer. When we say the age of Chaucer, we can understand that Chaucer was the major literary figure of this time. This was also the time English was slowly gaining back its importance. The major historical events of this time is, first of all, the Hundred Years of War between England and France. The war started in the year 1337 and continued till 1453. Then another important event was the Black Death. The Black Death was a plague which occurred three times during the 5 years, and it wiped out almost one third of the entire Europe. The third important event is that the Peasants Revolt in the year 1381. Peasants were in a very difficult situation. They had to face high taxes and hard labor. And because of this, they revolted against the authority. The leader of the peasant was Wat Tyler. During this time, Geoffrey Chaucer was writing, and his one of the major works is Canterbury Tales. Apart from Canterbury Tales, he also wrote The Parliament of Fowls, The Book of the Duchess, The Legend of Good Women. Now let us talk about the Age of Revival. It was a time of revival of old classical Roman and Greek literature. Roman Empire fell. People started going back to the Roman literature and started reading them again. It was also the time when some major historical events took place. One of them is the War of the Roses. It was the rivalry war between the House of Lancaster and the House of York for the throne of England. Another important event of this time was the Protestant Revolution and Reformation. Henry VIII was married to Catherine of Aragon, and he wanted a divorce, but the church of but the, he wanted a divorce, but the Pope did not grant him. That is why he pulled the Church of England out of the Roman Catholic Church and made a separate church altogether and declared himself as the head of the church as well as the head of England. So that is how Anglican Church began, and we will discuss about it further in my future videos. It was also the time printing press came into being by William Caxton in the year 1458. This was the time of the voyages. We know that America was discovered in 1453, where people started to find new lands. The most important text of this period is Maud de Arthur by Thomas Mallory. We will discuss about the important texts of the Middle English period one by one in my future videos. For that, keep an eye to my channel and I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.